Today, I want to share something very different with you all. This might be the ultimate secret hidden in Buddhism. T talk about this here and many people don't. Please note, this is not the Diamond Sutra we often hear about, but the Vajrasamadhi Sutra. The full name is Vajrasamadhi of all Pakakas, true realization of great accomplishment manifesting the great teaching Cane Sutra. So, what is manifestation? It is immediate Buddhahood. The Vajrasamadhi Sutra and another sutra called the Mahavairottana Sutra are the two fundamental sutras of Buddhist Tantra. Speaking of Tantra, there's an important point to note. Tantra particularly emphasizes that without direct guidance from a teacher, you absolutely cannot learn the secret methods on your own. Therefore, strictly speaking, we shouldn't explain the content of the Vajrasamadhi Sutra here. But the more mysterious something is, the more people want to understand it. Especially when hearing many people say that the practice methods of Tantra are very profound. So, where is the profundity? People say that the practice methods of Tantra can help them directly receive the blessings of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and then immediately achieve many accomplishments, including gaining supernatural powers, even attaining Buddhahood in this very lifetime. This is completely different from practicing according to exoteric Buddhism, which requires many years to achieve accomplishments. In exoteric Buddhism, you can reach the state of Arhat or Bodhisattva in this lifetime, but it takes much more time to become a Buddha. But Tantra says that you don't need to wait until future lifetimes. You can completely become a Buddha in this very lifetime with your current body. Read the Mahavairottana Sutra and Vajrasamadhi Sutra, it. They read them, you can. How exactly are they different from other Buddhist scriptures? Today, in this video, I just want to share with you all a story from the introduction of the Vajrasamadhi Sutra. To understand the actual methods and dawn. We're just telling stories. The introduction of the Vajrasamadhi Sutra recounts a story completely different from other Buddhist schools. Many people have probably heard the story about how Buddha Shakyamuni practiced step by step to become a Buddha. Previously, there were many videos on our channel about this topic. However, that was before I read the Vajrasamadhi Sutra. After reading this sutra, I discovered that behind Shakyamuni Buddha's enlightenment were many hidden secrets that few people know about. Usually people say that Buddha Shakyamuni was once a prince named Siddhartha. He left home at age 29 and initially studied with Indian Brahmin ascetics. So what did he study? Actually, at that time, Prince Siddhartha mainly studied meditation and was very skilled at it. He quickly learned the highest level of meditation in Brahmanism, which is the state of neither perception nor non-perception. However, we now know that the four formless meditations are the highest meditation levels in Brahmanism. But beyond the four formless meditations, Buddhism has an even higher state called the cessation of perception and feeling. At that time, Prince Siddhartha studying with non-Buddhist Brahmin ascetics only reached the state of neither perception nor non-perception, the 8th meditation level. At that point, Prince Siddhartha realized that even at this level, he still felt suffering and couldn't achieve complete liberation. Therefore, Prince Siddhartha decided to continue practicing at deeper levels. However, the problem was that no teacher in Brahmanism could teach him any higher meditation methods. So Prince Siddhartha chose a very austere practice method, asceticism. Every day, he ate very little, deliberately fasting to practice. Eventually, his body became emaciated, just skin and bones. He hoped that through this asceticism, he could achieve higher accomplishments. Meditation didn't. On the contrary, he almost died from starvation. Fortunately, at that moment, a village girl saved him, giving him goat's milk to drink and helping him recover. After this incident, Prince Siddhartha suddenly realized that asceticism brought no results. It couldn't help him realize the deepest wisdom. Finally, Prince Siddhartha went to meditate under the Bodhi tree and vowed that until his flesh and blood dried up, until he realized the deepest wisdom. Otherwise, even if he had to die on the spot, he wouldn't stand up. After 7 days and nights of continuous meditation, Prince Siddhartha finally realized the meditation state, higher than all he had experienced before, called the cessation of perception and feeling. Prince Siddhartha became Buddha Shakyamuni. This is the common story in Buddhist schools about how Buddha Shakyamuni gradually became a Buddha. In this story, Prince Siddhartha completely relied on his personal enlightenment, realizing and becoming a Buddha by himself. However, the Vajrapāṇika Sutra presents a different account. This scripture indicates that what we know is only superficial, and in reality, will have the attainment of Buddhahood. There are a series of unimaginable events that many have never known. The latter part of the Vajrapāṇika Sutra recounts the story as follows. In our Saha world, there is a supreme Buddha named Mahavairocana Tathagata, also known as Vairocana Buddha. He is the Dharma king of the 3 realms, existing in the past, present, and future, transcending all concepts of time and space, embodying absolute truth. Although in temples, you may see statues of Vairocana Buddha. In essence, he has no physical body but is the Dharmakaya Buddha, representing absolute truth. This is similar to the Tathagata in the Tathagata Sutra, indescribable in words, formless and omnipresent. Everything around us is a manifestation of Tathagata. Vairocana Buddha is likewise without form and indescribable in words. But to help sentient beings comprehend, Buddhism provisionally uses the image of Vairocana Buddha to convey that an absolute truth exists. And then the story begins. At this time, beside Vairocana Buddha, there are 4 other Buddhas. They are Akshobhya Buddha in the east, Amitabha Buddha in the west, Ratnasambhava Buddha in the south, and Amoghasiddhi Buddha in the north. Together with Vairocana Buddha, they form the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. Moreover, not only these 5 Buddhas, but countless Buddhas from other worlds, as numerous as the sands of the Ganges, also gather in the Saha world. Not only that, innumerable bodhisattvas such as Samantabhadra, Avalokiteshvara, Manjushri, Kayasiddhagarbha, and many others also come to the Saha world. The presence of all Buddhas and bodhisattvas creates a magnificent spectacle. Just by looking at this entourage, one can infer that the matters mentioned in this sutra will be incredibly wondrous. While the Buddhas and bodhisattvas assemble on one side, the story shifts to Prince Siddhartha. At that time, Prince Siddhartha began meditating under the Bodhi tree. According to the Vajrapāṇika Sutra, Prince Siddhartha had attained the state called Sarvarthasiddha Bodhisattva, meaning he was already a bodhisattva at that time. He had just started sitting in meditation under the Bodhi tree and delved deep into samadhi. At this very moment, all the Buddhas led by Vairocana Buddha suddenly appeared and together approached where Prince Siddhartha was meditating, that is, they entered directly into the mind of this bodhisattva. So, what is Sarvarthasiddha Bodhisattva? You should not understand that all the Buddhas came to meet Siddhartha under the Bodhi tree in the physical world. Instead, this implies that all the Buddhas simultaneously manifested in Prince Siddhartha's mind. Then all the Buddhas spoke one sentence to the prince. Virtuous man, how can one realize Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi? Do you not know that the true Tathagata must endure all austerities? With just this simple statement, Prince Siddhartha was immediately enlightened. What does this statement mean? First, the beginning part is very simple. Virtuous man, how do you think one can realize Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi? Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi here is another term for Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Referring to the highest state of enlightenment in Buddhism, the state of supreme wisdom, realizing Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi means one has comprehended all things, including those expressible and inexpressible in words, all secrets and perfect wisdom. Isn't this just a form of austerity? Previously, Prince Siddhartha has stated that he fully realized austerities cannot lead to Buddhahood. So why is he now choosing another form of austerity? This shows that, deep down, Prince Siddhartha had not completely abandoned attachment to austerities. Moreover, this reveals a larger issue. Do not know the true Tathagata, endure all austerities. This is actually the Buddha's telling Prince Siddhartha. Do you know why you still cannot let go of attachment to austerities? First, you do not understand what the true Tathagata is. The true Tathagata here refers to the realm of Anattara Samyak Sambodhi, the true realm of the Buddha. Siddhartha, you do not understand, you have never personally experienced the true realm of Anattara Samyak Sambodhi. But he began to experiment with ascetic practices. He was merely imagining, just thinking to himself that he could become a Buddha through these ascetic methods. But in reality, what he was doing was mistaken. These methods could not help him become a Buddha, he was doing futile things. This means that after learning from the non-Buddhist ascetics, Siddhartha had not found any other teacher and had not discovered the correct cultivation method to become a Buddha on his own. Therefore, he simply thought that asceticism might be the path to Buddhahood. So, when you hear this story, you will understand why in the esoteric school it is said that, without the direct guidance of a teacher, you should not study secret teachings on your own. Otherwise, you will be like Siddhartha, groping in the dark, not knowing the specific way to become a Buddha and only doing futile things. Perhaps at that time, all the Buddhas could no longer stand by and watch, so they came into Prince Siddhartha's mind to teach him the true method of cultivating to become a Buddha. Returning to the content of the Vajrasamadhi Sutra, at this point, the Bodhisattva who accomplishes, that is, Siddhartha after hearing the Buddhas speak thus, like hearing a wake-up bell, immediately emerged from the state of samadhi, called the Asvabhava Samadhi. After that, he immediately paid homage to Mahavarokana Tathagata and all the Buddhas with reverence and said, "O Blessed One, please teach me about the way of cultivation and what is the true truth of the unsurpassed, perfect enlightenment." Hearing this statement, everyone probably understands its meaning. Siddhartha is requesting Mahavarokana Tathagata, the great Mahavarokana, to teach him the correct path of cultivation and how to attain the supreme truth of the unsurpassed, perfect enlightenment. Then, the important part of the story begins. The Buddhas say, "Good man, observe your mind 3 times, use self-confidence to accomplish the self-mastery mantra." Then he recited a mantra. Regarding this mantra, because I have seen many different pronunciation versions, even in Sanskrit, I also don't know exactly how to recite it. Moreover, I will explain this mantra clearly to everyone later. You don't need to learn how to recite it because learning it is ineffective. We only need to know their meaning is that the Buddhas are telling Siddhartha, you should do like this, then do like this, and finally recite this mantra. Simply like that, and you will immediately attain the first step of the unsurpassed, perfect enlightenment. This is precisely the difference between the esoteric and exoteric. In the exoteric school, you must cultivate step by step gradually, not knowing how many kalpas it takes to slowly awaken. Sometimes in cultivation, you might regress and have to start over from the beginning. But in the esoteric school, under the empowerment of Vairocana Buddha, Siddhartha only needs to hear these words, then recite a mantra, and immediately set his first foot into the realm of the unsurpassed, perfect enlightenment. Therefore, next, let's examine more closely what these words mean. Why is it that simply doing this allows Siddhartha to enter the realm of the unsurpassed, perfect enlightenment? Actually, we should not hastily underestimate it because the hidden meaning behind them is very complex. Let's pause for a moment and return to a particular point emphasized in the earlier scripture. The scripture specifically mentions that after Prince Siddhartha was awakened by the Buddhas, he immediately emerged from the state of samadhi, called the Asvabhava Samadhi. After that, he then requested the Buddhas to teach him how to realize the unsurpassed, perfect enlightenment. But this is strange because in the 9 levels of samadhi we mentioned earlier, there is absolutely no level called Asvabhava Samadhi. So what exactly is this samadhi? If we don't understand this samadhi, the subsequent instructions from the Buddhas will also become difficult to comprehend. To be honest, just to understand the introduction of the Vajrasamadhi Sutra, half a month might not be enough. For example, the Asvabhava Samadhi, when searched online, you can hardly find any explanations related to this samadhi. To know what this samadhi is, dawn. Finally, after much effort searching, the meaning of this samadhi was explained through the Vajrasamadhi Mahayana Sutra by Zen Master Kanchi, and also in the writings of Great Master Wu Kong of the Tang. Usually, when interested in Buddhism, we often think of studying orthodox scriptures. But when reading Tanji's Vajrasamadhi Mahayana Sutra, you suddenly feel a very different Dharma joy. This book is actually not an orthodox scripture but merely Zen Master Tanji's personal commentary on the Vajrasamadhi Sutra. But when reading this commentary, you will feel as if you found an extremely precious treasure, because it is very well written and explained with great clarity. Orthodox scriptures like the Diamond Sutra, Platform Sutra, Lotus Sutra, and others are very difficult to fully understand when read directly. This Vajrasamadhi Great Teaching King Sutra is truly a treasure for those who wish to deeply understand the Vajrasamadhi Sutra. It not only explains aspects of the Vajrasamadhi Sutra but also analyzes, compares, and synthesizes from other Buddhist sutras, providing a clear, detailed view of the complex concepts in this sutra. This means when reading the book, you will find all your doubts about understanding the scriptures resolved, opening a clearer path to the Dharma. One impressive point when reading the book is feeling the seriousness and dedication of ancient Buddhist masters in researching and teaching the Dharma. These masters with profound knowledge and thorough explanatory abilities truly make readers respect and revere them. Just by mastering the content of the Vajrasamadhi Great Teaching King Sutra, you almost grasp the majority of the secrets of Vajrayana, or the diamond vehicle. Therefore, if you are genuinely interested in Buddhism, besides reading orthodox sutras, like the Diamond Sutra, Lotus Sutra, Mahaparinirvana Sutra, reading additional commentaries by ancient masters, such as the Vajrasamadhi Great Teaching King Sutra, also brings many benefits. This not only expands knowledge but is also another way to achieve enlightenment. Returning to the story in the Vajra King Sutra, there is an important detail to note. That is, Prince Siddhartha, later known as Shakyamuni Buddha, emerged from a meditative state called a Subha Raga Samadhi. What is this state and what are its effects? This is explained in detail in the writings of Master Wu Kong, a Buddhist master from the Tang dynasty. Master Wu Kong explains that a Subha Raga Samadhi is an advanced meditative state that helps practitioners stop all distractions and mental disturbances. In daily life, our minds are often attracted by external factors, such as money, fame, emotions, and worldly pleasures. We constantly try to pursue these things hoping to achieve satisfaction and happiness. However, this pursuit never stops and we eventually fall into an endless spiral of ambition, leading to unease and suffering. The Subha Raga Samadhi meditative state helps completely eliminate those distractions and disturbances, bringing the mind into a state of absolute peace and tranquility. When achieving this state, practitioners are no longer controlled by external factors, helping them avoid the source of suffering. However, Master Wu Kong warns, although this meditative state is very high, it is still insufficient to reach the Buddha realm, that is, supreme perfect enlightenment. The Subha Raga Samadhi meditative state is like locking oneself in a cocoon, cutting off all connections with the outside world. When in this state, practitioners seem to have separated from the source of suffering. But in reality, they cannot completely overcome worldly temptations and challenges, because as soon as they emerge from meditation, that person can still be influenced by the outside world and led back to the path of suffering. In contrast, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas do not need to imprison themselves in such meditative states, because they have attained supreme perfect enlightenment. They are completely immune to all worldly temptations and suffering. They can meditate at any time and emerge without being affected by external factors. Not only do they not need to avoid, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are willing to return to the world to save sentient beings, helping them overcome those challenges. Understanding the difference between the Asubha Samadhi meditative state and the Buddha realm helps us better understand why the Buddhas told Prince Siddhartha to observe his mind in meditation to realize the truth. This observation is not only to enjoy tranquility but also to recognize the true nature of the mind, thereby realizing supreme perfect enlightenment. This observation is looking into the original mind or self-nature and realizing this nature is originally empty, without substance. This is one of the core principles of Buddhism called emptiness. Emptiness means all phenomena are temporary, without real essence, existing only through the combination of conditions. When the conditions dissolve, that phenomenon will also disappear. You can review recent videos on the channel to better understand this issue. When understanding this, practitioners will no longer be bound by transient phenomena like money, fame, and even life and death. In the Vajra Peak Sutra, the Buddhas advised Prince Siddhartha that during meditation and realizing the true nature of mind, he would naturally emit true words, also known as mantras. This is not a process of learning or memorizing, but a natural outburst from realization. These true words express deep insight into the nature of self-nature, that it is inherent, without substance, and the source of all phenomena. Finally, Asubha meditation is a high state of meditation, but it was only the initial step in Prince Siddhartha's spiritual journey. To achieve complete enlightenment, the prince had to go through many different stages, each with its own meditation methods and mantras. Only after completing all these stages did Prince Siddhartha truly become a Buddha, attaining supreme perfect enlightenment. If you genuinely want to study and practice Vajrayana, you need guidance from an experienced teacher. As self-study is not only difficult but can also lead to misunderstandings and unwanted consequences. Thank you for watching the video until the end. If anything is incorrect or needs addition, please let us know in the comment section below. Now, goodbye and see you in the next video.